people don't realize that. You can't just lock somebody up and forget about them. You have to lock them up and take care of them.
But for the last 22 years, the Department of Corrections has struggled with doing just that. DOC has been under a consent decree since 1991. It was a result of the government's inability to provide adequate living conditions in treatment of prisoners. But hundreds of inmates and detainees later, the situation has only gotten worse.
Well,
DepCor
if you
spokesperson Lieutenant Anton Uggan says the department has made strides in coming into compliance with issues like installing a fire sprinkler and getting fire retardant mattresses, which he says are nearly in every unit, and improving galley services and having a dietitian review the food. But the department continues to struggle with one particular portion of the consent decree: medical services.
This is because, the U.S. Supreme Court has said over and over that whenever you take somebody's freedom away, the government is responsible to give them access to reasonable medical care. And with only one doctor, one psychologist, and two nurses, it gets pretty challenging.
The department gets more than 1,200 requests every month for sick call to see the lone physician there. But Uggan says they are only able to service about 25% of those requests.
That brings a challenge, because if we don't get to other issues, then it becomes worse. So minor problems that we could probably take care in the beginning don't get taken care of, they become major problems.
And with a population of 230 inmates and another 480 detainees at a cost of $118 per day per inmate or detainee, the costs are skyrocketing. The facility, built in the 60s, was only meant to house a population of 300, but is now bursting at the seams with a population of more than 700, with only 22 officers working at any given time.
Is the Department of Corrections worried that because of the failure to be able to come into full compliance with the consent decree after 30 plus years, that the department may end up in a receivership?
I'll be honest, that is a concern on everybody's mind right now. Again, we do the best we can with what's provided.
When compared to the millions spent on the federal receiver in the ORDOT dump case and the hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on the federal management team to get adequate care for individuals with disabilities, a receivership would break the bank for the already struggling department that can barely cover the basic costs to care for the prison population, not to mention the growing medical bills that haven't been paid. Uggan believes the solution is twofold. He suggests a short-term fix of hiring more medical staff and hiring new officers, and a long-term fix of getting a new state-of-the-art prison.
I'm hoping with all the attention that we're getting that, somebody comes out, helps out with the financial and comes out with a permanent plan to, fix this. I know it costs money, and I know the government's in a big financial issue. But we have lives at stake in here, both inmates and staff. And we don't want to wait until somebody actually dies before something happens.